When three bullies trapped Kareem behind the gym, they expected him to panic. Instead, within moments, one was on the ground, and the others quickly realized they'd picked the wrong kid to mess with. Nobody really noticed when Kareem Toiver walked through the front doors of Milstone High in Lansing, Michigan. No grand entrance, no curious whispers, just another transfer student showing up in the middle of the semester. His backpack was worn, his hoodie had seen better days, and he carried himself with a quiet carefulness, like someone who always read the room before deciding to speak. It was a chilly Monday. Patches of slushy snow still clung to the sidewalks, and the morning bell rang sharp through the halls. Kareem stopped at his locker, scanning the faces rushing past. He wasn't nervous, just familiar with the drill. Find your classes. Stay low-key. Don't draw attention. In his first period math class, a few heads turned when he walked in. A girl in the corner whispered something, covering her mouth with her hand. The teacher barely acknowledged him, just pointed toward an open seat near the back and carried on. No introduction, no interest. Just silence. Kareem didn't mind. He'd learned a long time ago that silence wasn't always a bad thing. Back in Detroit, silence often meant safety. He didn't wear flashy clothes, didn't try to stand out. His uncle called it moving invisible, something you picked up in certain neighborhoods where the wrong kind of attention could get you jumped, or worse. But Milstone High wasn't Detroit. It was polished. The kids here wore name-brand everything. Their haircuts looked fresh out of a salon. They laughed loud, walked like they owned the place. No one said anything directly to Kareem, but he caught the looks, eyes flicking to his shoes, the way a kid in gym class glanced at his second-hand hoodie, like it was dirty. By the third day, he was eating lunch alone. A back table, tray of spaghetti, a banana, chocolate milk. Simple. Quiet. He chewed slowly, listening, watching. Then he heard it. Yo, what even is that? You bring that from home or something? Kareem looked up. A tall white kid in a varsity jacket stood a few feet away, smirking. Brock Simmons. Football co-captain. Star tight end. Self-declared king of the junior class. Flanking him were two other guys grinning like they were in on some inside joke. Kareem didn't react. Man's eating like it's the Great Depression, Brock added, just loud enough for nearby tables to catch it. Laughter. Not from everyone, but enough. Kareem kept eating. Eyes down. He wasn't looking for trouble. Not today. One of Brock's friends, a short guy with a crew cut, leaned in. Yo, you deaf? Or just slow? Kareem glanced at him. Just for a second. Then he blinked, picked up his milk, and stood. I'm done. No insults. No scene. He just left the tray and walked toward the hallway. But it didn't end there. That afternoon, someone knocked his books off his desk in science class. No one took credit. The teacher didn't notice. After school, someone wrote charity case across his locker in dry erase marker. It wiped off easy. The feeling didn't. That night, Kareem took the 112 bus to the edge of town, to his uncle's gym behind a tire shop. The familiar scent of sweat and leather hit before he even stepped inside. Uncle Reggie barely looked up from wrapping another fighter's hands. Rough day. School, Kareem muttered. Reggie didn't push. Just nodded toward the mats. Let it out. That's what they're there for. Kareem didn't need more than that. He changed, stepped onto the mat, and hit the pads like they'd said something personal. Hooks. Counters. Pivots. Fast. Precise. Controlled. He didn't fight to prove anything, only to remind himself who he was. But one small moment in the cafeteria had already set off a chain reaction. Brock wasn't bothered by the joke. He was bothered by the reaction or the lack of one. Kareem hadn't looked scared. He hadn't flinched. He'd just walked away. And that got under Brock's skin. By Friday, Kareem's name was floating through locker rooms. New kids got an attitude. Someone muttered, "Dude doesn't even talk. Just stares." They said it like it was a crime. In gym class, Kareem got paired with Brock for basketball drills. When the coach called the matchups, Brock tossed the ball at him. Hard. Come on, Toiver. Show me what you got. Kareem caught it. Bounced it once. Twice. We just passing, right? Yeah, just passing. Brock faked a casual stance. But when Kareem passed it back, he snapped the ball straight into Brock's chest. Dead on. The echo carried. Brock blinked. A couple of the guys snickered. Damn, someone muttered. Brock forced a smile.
All right. Cool.
That was the moment he decided he didn't like Kareem. And from there, it got pettier. Snide remarks in the hallway. Gummed in his locker. Someone tripped him near the vending machines. Kareem never reacted, never snitched. He just kept moving. But silence in a place like Milstone? That was gasoline. And Brock had a lighter. At lunch, Brock made sure his voice carried. Yo, you from Detroit, right? You bring your bulletproof vest or leave it at home. Laughter. Some uncomfortable glances, but no one spoke up. Kareem stared at his sandwich. Logan Ferris, one of Brock's lackeys, leaned over. Dude, I think he might actually be crazy. Look at him. Doesn't even blink. He's not crazy, Brock said, just loud enough to be heard. He's just another hood story waiting to happen. That one got under Kareem's skin. After school, he walked faster to the bus stop. He knew how things escalated. He'd seen it, lived it. But this felt personal. At home, Uncle Reggie noticed the tension. You holding something back? Kareem nodded. Reggie set down his coffee. Sometimes holding back's harder than swinging. You know that, right?
Yeah.
You always said anger doesn't lead. It follows. Reggie studied him. That's right. But if someone backs you into a corner, you don't let him walk over you either. Kareem didn't answer. He didn't need to. By Monday, everything had shifted. Kareem wasn't just the quiet new kid anymore. He was something else. Someone to watch. At lunch, no one made jokes. No comments. Just silence. But that silence? That was louder than anything. Across the cafeteria, Brock was spinning the story like he was the victim. Dude psycho. Came at us like some movie scene. Kicked Logan's legs out like he's Bruce Lee or something. Ty kept quiet. Logan wasn't even at school. A girl at Brock's table raised an eyebrow. But you guys surrounded him, right? Brock snapped back. Nah, we were just talking. He flipped out. She didn't believe him. But she didn't push it. By the end of the week, a blurry photo of the fight popped up on social media. Caption? He thinks he's in a movie. Scared yet? It was from Brock's burner account. Kareem read the comments. Not once. Not twice. Enough times to feel something tighten in his chest. He wasn't ashamed of what he did.
But now?
The story wasn't his anymore.